Among those still there, former Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko. As his successor prepared to address Canada's Parliament earlier today, we reached Mr. Poroshenko for an exclusive Canadian interview. He has his own message for Canadians. Mr. Poroshenko, good to have you back on our program. Thank you very much. I notice you look like, are you still in Kyiv? And it looks like there is quite a bit of security around you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Today is the 3 weeks of the Russian aggression. And we have only this night 12 Russian cruise missiles attack and the Russian artillery attacking the object of civilians. And definitely we are in a completely different situation, but I'm still proud that Ukrainian armed forces don't allow Russia to go further. And Russia changes tactics. If beforehand they attack only the security position of Ukrainian armed forces, now the main object is the civilian buildings. And every single night, lots of civilians are killed and wounded. But we have also some positive news because right now we're receiving information that the Prime Minister of 3 countries, this is the Czech Republic, this is the Slovenia and Poland, come now by train from Ukrainian-Polish border to Kyiv. And that would be great gesture of solidarity, grand symbol of solidarity. This is exactly what I proposed with your channel about 1 week ago. And I think that this is a great, and I know that the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, very good friend of mine, also pay lots of attention to Ukrainian matters. I invite him also to be here with us because it's impossible to understand what does it feel Kyivites when he is until he is not appeared in Kyiv, or not understand how to feel the people of Mariupol under the Russian shelling and Russian missiles and Russian air bomb while you are not in Mariupol. And with this situation, it helps us to be more decisive and to show, to demonstrate to the whole world, Putin, we are not afraid of you. We do not trust you, and we stop you. And we threw it away from Russia, back to Russia from Ukraine. And with this situation, definitely we need it. And the second position is that we need to establish 2 ways of cooperation. Before the World War II, Prime Minister of UK, Winston Churchill, said, give me the tools and I finish your work. Give Ukrainian army the Lend-Lease, from nutrition to ammunition, give us anti-tank, anti-aircraft. We don't need your soldiers on Ukrainian soil, and we will stop Putin. We make him weaker because Putin do not stop only in Ukraine. If we do not stop him now, he go further, and nobody knows where tomorrow appear the Russian soldiers. And the history of the whole world is now being forged in Ukraine because Putin attacking and fighting not only Ukraine but the whole West, whole free world.
Mr. Poroshenko, I'm wondering, as you highlight the significance of the lethal aid, of the aid to Ukraine's military, are you worried about Russia targeting the corridors to get that aid to Ukraine? And I mean, for example, the airbase in Western Ukraine over the weekend that was struck, right? Are you worried that there will be some difficulties in receiving that aid because of what happened?
Look, you should understand that's impossible to be more difficult than now. Russia do maximum they can. Just day before yesterday, they attacked the Security and Peacekeeping Center in Yavoriv, center of NATO, where we cooperate with NATO, and where I have a meeting with the then General Governor of Canada, former Canadian astronaut. And with this situation, right now, it is 37 people killed by Russian missiles, and this was just less than 20 miles from the NATO border. Putin now do maximum he can. Putin attack our airport in Lutsk, Putin attack our airport in Ivano-Frankivsk, Putin attack Lviv, Putin do maximum, but we are standing firm. We stop Russian troops, and Putin pay the price. 13,000 Russian soldiers will stay forever in Ukrainian soil because he comes to kill us. And Putin is a crazy maniac, and if he can do anything, he already do that. And that's why, again, I want to appeal to you, please don't be afraid of Putin. Because Putin, if you're afraid of him, Putin go as far as we allow them to go. And if we allow Putin to blackmail us, that means that Putin never stop. Not stopping in Ukraine, not stopping in the Eastern Europe. Putin go further and further. But we Ukrainians surprise the world. Surprised with the ability of Ukrainian armed forces to stop Putin. Surprised with the unity Ukrainian people demonstrate here to protect our country and protect our choice for the free world, for the future membership in EU and NATO. And we ask, just please don't betray us. We do maximum, we do the best. You see, now we have an artillery sound, and that's happening maybe 3-4 kilometers from here, because we are in the center of Kyiv. And with that situation, we need your anti-aircraft missiles, because to protect, to close the sky and airspace of Ukraine above us, above the nuclear power station, above the civilian object, and above Ukrainian soldiers, because we shouldn't allow the Russian airplane, military jet, and Russian cruise missiles killing Ukrainians, both civilian and soldiers. And with this situation, the whole world, the NATO, should be shoulder to shoulder with us without NATO soldiers. Call Ukraine. We need now to, and I want to use this opportunity to call Ukrainian diaspora in Canada. Thank you very much indeed, because you're helping us a lot. We were shoulder to shoulder during my presidency. Now is your time to appeal that, again, Lend-Lease and Second Front with the supply to Ukraine, all necessary things. This is vital for Canadian security, for the global security, not only for Ukrainian security.
Mr. Poroshenko, just before I let you go, I want to ask you about that diaspora, and in particular, I heard you invite the Prime Minister to come to Kyiv, but also I remember when you were here in 2014, I remember covering your visit to Canadian Parliament, to Canada's Parliament, as a reporter then. 8 years later, your successor will be addressing Parliament, or is addressing Parliament in Canada. What does it say that he has to address Parliament 8 years later again? What does it say to you? What message do you have?
Look, we are one people, free, people of the free and democratic world. We demonstrate a lots of unity. In the one of the most difficult year of my history, in year 2014, when we don't have an army, the Canada was together with me, and then Prime Minister Harper and the bipartisan support in the Canadian Parliament maybe save a lots of life of Ukrainian. And now you should understand, our fight is your fight. Our security is your security. And we're fighting here for the freedom and security of Canadian people. And that's why you are not assisting Ukraine. You are not helping Ukraine. You investing in your security. And the weaker Putin would be, because of the action of Ukrainian armed forces, the better it would be for the global security. And that's why we need to stop this crazy maniac with the nuclear bomb. That's why we should put it behind the bars in the Hague Tribunal for the thousands and thousands of these Ukrainians he killed on our soil. And definitely this is completely unpredictable. And this person, Putin, understands only language of force. And the more quicker you help, the closer would be the victory. If you delay the help, that would cost to Ukrainian people new lost lives, tons of blood, and danger for the sovereignty and territorial integrity. This is true.
Thank you so much, Mr. Poroshenko. Please stay safe.
Thanks a lot, and looking forward to see you next time.
Thank you. Us as well. Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.